What's going on, everyone? So, I just saw a Pokemon movie, The Power of Us, or Everyone's Story as it's known in Japan, and I just want to give my quick thoughts on it. Don't worry, this won't be spoiling much since I think it's a movie that it's a must watch if you're a Pokemon fan. I loved it so very much. And the general sentiment from other people that I've talked to is also that this movie is really good. You should go watch it. So I guess let's begin with the story. The story this time is not really focused on Ash. Instead, he takes more of a mentor role for all the other characters that the story focuses on. And while he is still fairly prominent throughout this movie, it does feel that he's more there more in spirit than in actually physically being there. The story instead chooses to focus on five other characters that each have their own problems and issues that they're trying to overcome. The movie takes place in Fulo City and specifically during their Wind Festival. That's the event that causes all of our characters to meet. There's the high school student and the former track runner Risa. She's there because she's asked by her younger brother to catch a Pokemon. There's Margot, who's the daughter of the mayor of Furo City. There's Torin, a really timid Pokemon researcher who's there to present his research. There's Callahan, who's there with his sister Mia and her daughter Kelly, who are there to enjoy the festival. The only problem is that Callahan can't seem to stop lying to Kelly, and there is a reason for that. And finally, Harriet, an old lady who doesn't like Pokemon for some reason. Each of these characters are given some great backstories, and each of them do have something they must overcome, and that's what this movie focuses on. This movie is very character driven, and it focuses on regular people trying to do their best. And in that sense, because the rest of the characters feel so human, Ash is the one person that sticks out. He's the one that feels the most anime, I guess. Not really non human is not the correct term, but he just feels the most fictional. That's not a knock on Ash, though, because we've had 20 years of development for Ash, so him being different from everyone is not that big of a deal. Also, Ash being pure is a trait that's always been something of his, but this movie really highlights it wonderfully. Let's talk about the animation in this movie. It was done by a collaboration between Studio Wit and OLM, and it looks incredible. Every scene in this movie is a joy to look at. The colors are bright, they're vibrant, they're very pleasing to the eye. They also chose to use a lot of what look like painted backgrounds rather than traditional digital backgrounds, so they all look really, really nice. Either that or it's this some sort of blur effect because the backgrounds really looked different from the foreground, and I really think they helped the foreground animation stand out. We also have a new look for Ash, but I really like it. It's not just Ash that got a more simplistic design. Everyone is designed way more simplistically, and in my opinion, that's a really good thing because it allows things like facial expressions to shine through. Also, the animation in terms of battles is great. There isn't a whole lot of it in this movie, but the parts that we do get do look awesome. Something this movie does really well in terms of animation is just kind of show the Pokemon world. Sometimes they'll have sweeping shots of the city and the Pokemon just walking around or flying around or, just doing normal things. And I think it's really important to help build character for a world. And this movie does that really brilliantly. It kind of allows the story to not feel so contained. Our characters aren't the only ones having problems, everyone else is dealing with it too. It's just that our story focuses on our characters. In terms of audio, the music is also great in this movie. To me, a great musical score is something that should really complement a scene by helping it give it emotion while not being the focus of the scene. So in my opinion, they've managed to pull that off really well. It's going to be pretty hard to do, but the composition in this movie is really top notch and really does make the whole experience of the movie better. Same with the voice acting. I usually like to watch the Japanese version of any anime shows just because to me, I feel like watching something how it's intended to be viewed is kind of important. So while it does suck that we don't get Masuko Nozawa, the voice of Son Goku, in the American version, I do feel like the dub team did an excellent job. They allowed each of the characters' personality and expressions to shine through, and overall did a really, really good job with the voice acting. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie. It's a really warm story that has great characters, a great message, really wonderful animation. If you didn't get to see this movie in the theaters, I believe this movie is coming out on December 8th, 2018, 7 p.m. local time on Disney XD, so watch it then. I highly do recommend it. To me, I would give this movie easily solid 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. I mean, it's just a wonderful Pokemon movie. If you're a Pokemon fan, this is a must watch. But those were just my thoughts on the movie. If you've seen the movie, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at TheRealPDGaming, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.